Alright, I'm gonna compare these two car washes. I'm a fan of Optimum, but I was asked to give DIY Detailer a try. So we'll use 4 ounces of each inside of our little foam cannon here, and then an additional 2 ounces in the clean water bucket, and then we'll set it up after we're done rinsing off the vehicles and whatnot to start. And we're gonna use Optimum on the Alpha right here, and then we'll finish off with the DIY Detailer on the Honda, and both of which are ceramic coated. So let's put them to the test. And as you can see, we're at 4 ounces with the Optimum right now. So we'll use that in our little foam cannon over here, and then we'll use another 2 ounces in the bucket. All right, so Optimum sprayed down gives a nice shaving cream type coat. I'm gonna let it sit for a couple minutes, then bring over the 2 bucket wash. I'm gonna use a Mother's microfiber mitt to clean everything. This is not endorsed or anything by anybody. I'm not gonna give you links to anything. You can find everything that I'm using basically just by Googling and what you're looking for. And yeah, so give this a couple minutes, then I'm gonna wipe it down and then spray it off, and we'll come back and see how it did. All right, this is after it's been all wiped down and everything. A little 2-buck method, so they say. And now let's rinse it off. All right, it's all rinsed off. Whatnot now, you can tell the Opticoat soap comes right off and whatnot. And now we're gonna dry it. We're gonna primarily use the Adams blow dryer to dry it, and then double mesh microfiber to get the additional water spot and whatnot, so that way it comes out nice and dry. All right, here it is after a little Adams polish, blower, air cannon, whatever. And now I'm just gonna go through with the clean microfiber just to see if I missed anything. People say this will save you time, but I don't think it does. I think it actually takes more time, but you can see it doesn't get all of the water. It leaves little drops here and there. So just a quick wipe down with the clean microfiber will take care of it. All right, well, that's it. I'm gonna throw a little bit of VPR on the tires. I didn't do the rims this time, but I'm just gonna throw some VPR on the tires, and it should be good for at least the next week. All right, that's it for a DIY car wash with Optimum. And I'm going to use the DIY Detailer next on the Honda, and we'll see how it does. I won't be using the same wash mitt or anything. I'll only be using the same buckets, and I'll be using a different foam cannon as well. But other than that, I'm saying I like how the Alpha turned out. It looks really nice and clean. And then the Honda's up next. All right, 4 ounces of this DIY Detailer. One thing I can say, it's a little thinner than the Optimum that I used before on the Alpha, but still we're gonna give it a shot. I've heard good things. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and get that mixed up, and then another 2 ounces in the clean bucket over there for when we actually wipe it down and whatnot, and then we'll get started. All right, got the DIY detailing and all the new stuff ready to go, and then move the truck forward so that way make sure we get it behind it and whatnot. And let me go ahead and get it rinsed down, and then I'll mix the stuff, and then I'll show you where we're at. All right, got it foamed up and whatnot. It's about, I would say, close to 99% to the Optimum. So I'd say they're very similar when it comes to foam. I will say though, this one does have a very pleasant scent that the Optimum did not have. Kind of grapish. But we'll go ahead and agitate everything and get it wiped down, and then we'll be back. Alright, so soap's rinsed, whatnot. So it's looking pretty good. The only thing I've noticed a real big difference on is the DIY detailer. Dries a lot quicker since I'm not a professional detailer or have a garage where I wash these things in or anything like that. I wash them outside. So when it's warm, when the sun hits it, it dries up a lot faster than the Optimum does. And you can tell that, you know, it doesn't rinse as cleanly as the Optimum for the most part, but that's in plastic, so that's normal for a lot of them, including the Adams car wash shampoo as well. But let's go ahead and get this dried off and see how it did. All right, done blow drying it at this point. It's got a couple of little spots that I'll have to go back through with microfiber and just finish drying it. But for the most part, I would say this one does a great job if you are just using an air cannon to dry it compared to the Optimum. And let me go ahead and do the little spots and whatnot, and then put some VPR on it. I'll move it back and then bring the alpha out, so that way you guys can kind of compare next to each other to see how they look. All right, and now the side-by-side look of the two, so that way you guys can make up your mind on your own. Okay, and final and honest assessment. Chem Guys VPR, I got mine in a spray bottle. Absolutely the best on anything vinyl, rubber, plastic, inside and out of the vehicle. I use the Silky as a rinse aid, no matter what car wash I use. Optimum car wash, I still think did a better job overall, but the DIY detailing Incredible Suds did a pretty decent job as well. If it came down to having to choose one, I guess it would decide if I'm using the air cannon to dry or only microfiber towels. If I was only using microfiber towels, I would go with the Optimum. If I was only using the air cannon, I would go with DIY detailing. I use two types of foam cannons. This first one here I got from Amazon. And to be honest, I actually prefer the one from Harbor Freight, which is a lot cheaper and whatnot. I think this gives a better spread to the foam than what this one does. But again, my 2 cents. None of these products were given, or I'm not sponsored or anything like that. So I'm just a weekender person that likes washing their car, because I figure if you spend the money on getting a ceramic coat, you should take care of it. And that's all I got.